I can't get over all the unique glass items that Dollar Tree has. Hey Bestie, this is Lisa. Welcome or welcome back. In today's episode, I'm going to show you 4 different ways you can use Dollar Tree glass to make beautiful decor. I found this tall cylinder vase at the Dollar Tree. It was in the plus section. It was $3. I think they have a smaller version that's only $1.25 in case you're interested. And then I ordered these dried flowers on Amazon. These are stunning. There was even butterflies in there. I can't get over all these flowers. I'm going to be able to make so many things with them. And they all came together in one set. I'm not trying to sell it or anything. I'm just excited with what I got. Anyway, I'm going to use this last one because I want those really tall, long leaves that are in there. I'm going to use some spray all-purpose adhesive. I'm going to spray the back side of these, and then I'm going to stick them in and kind of tap them to the inside of the cylinder vase. I couldn't think of a better way to do this without glue showing, and I really didn't want that. So this was, I think, the easiest way to do it. Now that set also came with tweezers if you wanted to handle the really small flowers. The ones that have stems, it's actually easy to just take them. And then I used my little dabber that I use to help hot glue dry and be adhered without burning my fingers. It's a little makeup spatula, and I just use that to lay them down against the glass. So now I'm going to add different kinds of leaves and just kind of put them wherever I think they might look really nice, kind of around the inside of the cylinder vase. Obviously, this is something you can do to your own liking, whatever your eyes feel like, okay, that looks pretty, or that'll look good in my home, and use the colors that go with your things as well. And there's these little pink flowers that were in this set as well. I glued those. You have to be super careful with those because the little flowers obviously are dry and they can break off, but you can also get them to stick again if you use the tweezers. So I just kind of place them here and there. And then I'm going to grab some peach ones and I put those up towards the top. So I did the pink ones on the bottom of the leaves and the peach ones a little bit higher up. I was looking for a little bit of a contrast in the colors. So again, do whatever you think looks best for you. And I just thought this was so pretty. Look at this. I love the way it looks with the flowers and then kind of the greenery in between. I just think that's so pretty. Now, you don't need to put anything in this vase. You can set this vase down on a console table, on a shelf, wherever you want, anything that's where it's tall enough where it can fit. And it just becomes a gorgeous piece of decor. It looks really good with my transitional decor. I think it would look great in a boho decor. I think you could even make this work in farmhouse if you wanted. I think it's stunning. Anyway, I love that I tried this. You should try it. I think it's a great, fun thing to do. Look how pretty it turned out. Please let me know what you think. Crafting is so relaxing for me, but I also enjoy playing a game called June's Journey. I've been playing it for years. June's Journey is a really fun and exciting mystery game. We follow June's journey to solve the mystery of her sister's murder. The story is set in the 1920s, where you'll experience her thrilling adventures. There are hidden objects to find, family secrets to uncover, awards to win. You get to decorate your own island, and even clubs you can join to meet other people. The story keeps my attention because there is something new every day. I can't wait to see what happens next. June is smart and resourceful. Her strong emotional intelligence makes her easy to relate to. Part of her charm is her stubborn and impulsive side.
Help me understand. The police called it a murder-suicide. Without a single motive, without a single witness. I mean, it's almost like someone's trying to cover something up.
I know you will love her, and I encourage you to download June's Journey for free by clicking the link in my description box or scanning the QR code on the screen. June's Journey is available on iOS and Android, as well as your own personal computer. I've got these cute little canisters. I always think of them as like perfume or potion type bottles, and they have the great little lids that just are securely on there. So we're going to do 2 different projects, one with each. So I'm going to use this metallic acrylic paint that I got at Walmart, and I'm going to tape off a section of the one that has kind of like little indentations on it that are round-ish, if you will. And what the hardest part of this is actually getting the tape around evenly. I cannot say that I did. I certainly tried, and it was better than when I first started, but it's not like a perfect circle when you do it because the glass kind of gets wider. It's hard to explain, but you know what I mean. And I'm going to paint down from the tape so that I don't get any on the underneath side of it. If you do, you can take a sharp little edge of something and just scrape it right off. It's very easy to get paint like that off the glass. So now I'm just going to paint a couple coats of that gold, take the tape off, and I just think that looks so beautiful. I love that contrast of the clear glass and the gold paint. But I did think that it needed a little bit of gold somewhere up near the top, and I did not want to do the little lid to it. So I painted around the very top, so nothing's going to scrape there. I made sure I didn't get it in the area where the lid goes in and out. And I'm going to do a little bit on the side edge of that. And I think that's just the perfect accent, at least for me. You could paint as much of this or as little of this. And I like to say that because I don't want you to ever think you have to do it the way I do it. This is just for inspiration. So when you see this, it could spark all kinds of creative thoughts in you in different ways to do it. That's what happens when I watch other people do things. It just gives me inspiration, not necessarily to do the same thing, although occasionally you want to because it's just exactly what you like. But, just to give you that idea of, okay, this is possible. I could really enjoy doing this. And I try to keep my crafts pretty simple so that anyone could recreate them regardless of your skill level. And you can always add on and make it more complicated if you want. So once I get all of that on there, I'm going to let that dry. And honestly, that's all I'm going to do to this one. It's just so beautiful the way it is. You know that saying, less is more. I say that to myself all the time so that I don't go overboard. Because if you've been watching me for a really long time, you know I used to go overboard on some of my things. And I have definitely simplified and, gotten to a place where it's much easier to do. I really enjoy doing this. Now, I'm only going to cover the parts that I painted in gold with my polyacrylic. I just want to seal that on there so when it's handled, the paint doesn't chip. I mean, there's no guarantee that that can't happen, but I think adding the seal on there makes all the difference. But I don't want to put it on the clear glass because it could get a little cloudy. And so I'm just going to seal that bottom and seal the top, let that dry. And then we have a beautiful finished little canister with a lid. You could take the lid off and put flowers in it or greenery, or you could just keep the lid on and let it be just a little decoration just by itself. I think this would look beautiful in any room. I don't think it's specific to a certain room in your house. You have to let me know what you think, and would you like to try something like this with Dollar Tree glass? There are so many things out there where you can hold yarn, like let's say you're knitting or crocheting or something like that. But I thought this would be such a pretty idea. So if you put your different color yarns in a glass canister from Dollar Tree, put some tape on top, like masking tape right on the top and then on the back side as well. And then you take a drill, or if you don't have a drill, you could take a very wide nail and hammer it in. That's an option for something like this. You have to be really careful because you don't want to dent the metal lid, so you could put a piece of wood underneath. Because I had a drill, I was able to go right through it. Now on the top, it's very smooth, but on the bottom, you do get these little pointy edges. So I clipped them off the best I could, and then also you could hammer down on them as well. Now, I felt like that didn't quite give me as good of a surface as I wanted. I was afraid the yarn was going to catch on it. The other option is you could put some hot glue on that underside and just cover any of those rough edges. What I decided to do is put a couple pieces of tape and then poke through the hole and then use the hammer to kind of try to hammer it down even more without making dents. And then I poked a hole with a screwdriver that, through the hole that was already there, but through the tape, and that covered some of those edges. And now the yarn will go right through. I do think if I were to make another one of these, which I probably will for my yarn, that I will just go ahead and do the hot glue on the back because it'll just run right over it once it dries and there won't be any sharp edges. So that would be, I think, my idea going forward, because now I've got to cut out the little pieces of tape with a blade. So I just added an extra step to do the tape, but I was learning as I went, as we do when we craft and we come upon a situation we weren't expecting. But either way, this worked, and it's so pretty because you could have your yarn sitting in these little canisters and just grab the one you want, and they can't roll around. So I think that's kind of nice when you're doing it. Now, if you're traveling with it, obviously, you're not going to carry around a bunch of glass canisters. I know that, and you're going to need to use something else. But if this is just something you're doing at home, this would be such a pretty way to display your yarn. You could almost make it decorative if you wanted to. Bestie, if you're enjoying this video, if you enjoy this channel, be sure to always hit the like button when you're watching if you like it. And then also, if you can, share the video with someone else. And if you're not subscribed, I'd sure love to have you here. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost anything. And then we'll see each other over and over. And I would love that. I love having you part of this community. It's so much fun. So you see, I've put the yarn in there. And there's plenty of room in this canister. It's not too tight. And then you can pull the yarn through, and I'll show you that right here. Look at that. It just comes right out. And once you get it started, it's very easy to pull. So there you go. I thought this would be a fun little hack, and I wanted to share it with you. So let me know what you think. So here we have another Dollar Tree canister that's so pretty with the lines going down it. I love the look. I love those lids too. They're so pretty. So for this, we're going to go a little bit more spring into summer. So I'm going to take this gorgeous aqua paint by Folk Art. I got this acrylic paint at Walmart. You can also use chalk paint, whatever you want. So I just went around a couple times till I got nice coverage where I couldn't see my brush strokes anymore. It took about, I would say, almost 3 coats, not quite a full 3 coats. And then I'm going to make sure I get that rim right along the top of it, just really carefully. Just use the very edge of the top of my brush. You can use a smaller brush, whatever you're more comfortable with, so that you can kind of manipulate it to go where you want it to go. And there it is. It's all dry, and I think it looks beautiful. I love that color. Oh my gosh. We're going to take the polyacrylic, and we're going to cover that just so it doesn't, chip or scratch or anything like that. Also, I like that it adds a little shine to it, so it kind of goes with the glass, because obviously the glass is shiny. So I think that's such a pretty look on there. And I did let it go over the edge of the bottom as well, just so that you'd see it. Now, I thought with this one, it might be interesting to add a ribbon to the top, because there's an area that's just about as wide as one of these smaller ribbons from Dollar Tree. And this one had so many colors. Now, you could swap out the ribbon, I'm sure, because it's just hot glue. If you warm it up, it'll just, come right off. So I'm just going to hot glue that on and cut off the excess. And then we'll just have this beautiful little plaid on there with all the nice spring colors. If it was summer, we could add another ribbon, whatever you want, or you don't have to do the ribbon at all. That was just an afterthought that I had. I love these glass canisters. What have you done with them? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear other things that people have done with them. This isn't my first glass video for Dollar Tree, so I know I've got other ones out there that you can find and watch different things I've done. But this is, obviously the newest one, so I try to come up with fresh new ideas, and I love hearing about yours as well.
Standing underneath the lights.
I think this turned out so pretty. I'm really, really liking this one a lot. So spring and fresh, and I just love the look and feel of it. You have to let me know if you've seen these at your Dollar Tree or anything similar and what you want to do with them. I'd love to hear your ideas on this. I found these cute little votive candle holders at the Dollar Tree. They also have some with the black metal instead of the gold for the little holders. I've got this gorgeous rose gold metallic paint, and I'm going to use this little top of a cork that I cut in half. So what I'm going to try to do is make a design on these little votive holders. Now, my cork idea didn't work as well as I thought it would, so you almost need something that's a little bit more like a round sponge shape to kind of stamp on little circles. I ended up having to use a brush to kind of work with them. So what I did, instead of getting beautiful, perfect circles, I went for kind of interesting circles because it was the only way I could save it. I don't actually like, I do like the way it came out in the end. It just wasn't what I had intended. You know how that is? Sometimes you have to pivot and adjust. Well, that happened to me here. So I still like the idea of it. I think it's cute, and I just kind of fill in that center. That cork had a little hole in it because I had tried to use it for something. I think that was my mistake. If the cork didn't have the hole, the circles might have been a little better. So I'm going to dry that off with my heat tool, and then I'm going to do another coat just to try to fill in a little bit more. Again, I could have avoided this whole step, but I thought I would show you the process because this could happen to anyone, and I just want you to see how you recover from something like that. For the next one, I'm going to take this little sponge brush and I'm just going to do like diagonal kind of smudgies, if you will. I kind of like that look. I thought it was interesting, especially with the rose gold against the glass. So again, you don't have to be able to paint shapes or even designs. You could just do little abstract things like this and make something look fun, because you think about it, if you put a real candle in there, it's really going to look nice. I did decide to paint the bottoms. I thought that would actually be pretty too. And another thing you could do is you could put some fairy lights in these and just have them on shelves here and there, because you won't need electricity then. They have little batteries. So that would be another option. I ended up, you'll see at the end, I display them with the little fake votive candles because that's what I just had, easy to reach. But I think I'd rather see real candles in here. I think it would look prettier with real flickering. Although my little fake votives do flicker, so there's that. So I'm just kind of making sure each of those diagonals has enough paint on it and looking at the other one once it dries. They're actually very cute. I'm going to cover anything I painted gold with the polyacrylic. Now, one thing I did on this one was I accidentally painted too much of the glass with the polyacrylic. It's not as clear as I thought it was going to be. So now the glasses are a little bit cloudy. Note to self, just be much more cautious when painting. So I just ended up having to paint the whole things. I think with fairy lights, it would actually look good. With the regular candle, it's just a little cloudy, as you can see. They're still cute, and I think the idea of it is what matters. So you could get some inspiration from this to do all kinds of different things and learn from my mistakes so you don't have to make them. So let me know what you think about this idea. I just want to say thank you to June's Journey for sponsoring this video and to remind you that you can download the game for free by clicking on the link in my description box or the QR code on the screen. Are you ready for more inspiration? I've got another video here I think you will really like. Click on it. I will see you there. You are truly a blessing to me. Bye.